Hi students, today we are here with the seventh chapter from Snapshot Birth, written by A.J. Cronin. Birth, written by A.J. Cronin. Before starting the chapter, let me introduce about the author A.J. Cronin. A.J. Cronin was a Scottish physician and novelist. His best known novel, The Citadel, tells of a Scottish doctor in a Welsh mining village who quickly moves up the career ladder in London. Cronin had observed the venues as a medical inspector of mines and later as a doctor in Harley Street. Introduction. The story Birth highlights the importance of practical experience in the medical field. It proves sometimes more effective in saving lives or in curing deadly diseases. Dr. Andrew was able to apply his experience and save a stillborn child and give life to it. Now we will come to the summary of the lesson. Andrew Manson, newly out of medical school, has just begun his medical practice. He is an assistant to Dr. Edward Page in the small mining town of Brenneley. He loves a girl named Christine, but he has had a disappointing date with her. Sadly, he reaches Bringover nearly at midnight. The hospital is closed. Andrew finds Joe Morgan waiting for him anxiously. He is there to take the doctor to his house to attend on his wife. He has been married for 20 years and his wife was in labor for the first time. Naturally, he is keen to become a father. Andrew and Joe set out for the latter's house, number 12, Blenheim Terrace. Andrew is feeling dull. Joe doesn't go in. Mrs. Joe Susan is there in a small bedroom upstairs. Here, her mother of nearly 70 and a strong elderly midwife are waiting beside the patient. The old woman is wise in experience. She realizes that the delivery will take some time and the doctor may not wait. But Andrew assures her that he is not going to run away. He goes downstairs to drink tea in the kitchen. He is tired and sleepy, but he decided to stay until everything is over. He is much confused. The thought of Bramwell is haunting him. He has been foolishly devoted to a woman who deceived him. Another colleague, Danny, was living unhappily alone, separated from his wife. All these marriages are dismal failures, but Andrew has a rosy dream about his marriage with a Christian. Susan says to her mother not to give her the chloroform if it would harm the baby. She is so much set upon having this child, but Andrew sees no harm in administering the anesthetic. An hour passes. It is past 4 a.m. and then the long struggle comes to an end. The child is born, but it is stillborn. Andrew now is in a dilemma, whether to save the mother or the child. Instinctively, he gives the baby to the nurse and gives his attention to Susan, who is almost collapsing. He gives her an injection and her heart is strengthened. Andrew now turns round to handle the baby, but the midwife has already placed it under the bed. In a flash, Andrew kneels down and pulls out the child. It is perfectly formed, but its warm body is white and seems boneless. It is because of the lack of oxygen. He suddenly reminded of a case he had once seen at the medical school. He asked the nurse to bring hot water and cold water. He puts the child on a blanket. He puts cold water in one tub and the lukewarm water in another. He dips the child in the icy water and in the lukewarm water by turn. The midwife watches Gracie Andrew with astonishment. He remarks that the child is born dead, but Andrew goes on with his treatment. He puts pressure on the little chest, trying to get some oxygen in it, and then, as if by a miracle, the baby's chest begins to rise and fall. Some mucus comes from one of his nostrils. The white skin slowly turns pink, and then comes the child's cry. The nurse begins to sob. She exclaims with joy and surprise that the child has come alive. He hands over the child to the nurse. Feeling weak and confused, he pulls on his jacket and goes downstairs. He takes a long drink of water. He finds Joe standing outside with a tense face. Andrew assures him that both the mother and the baby are all right. It is nearly 5 o'clock in the morning. He is elated with his achievement. He thanks God for having done something real at last. It influences his whole future in brilliantly. Thank you. Thank you so much.